1 million.
Yeah.
Well,
To be built,
the labour.
Yeah.
If you commission a brand new church organ from any of the organ builders, particularly Harrison.
Last Abbey.
Oh yes, yes.
It was about a year there that you organ.
Backing disc of fibreboard, which is probably reusable. I expect most of them will be reusable. Okay. Onto which is a stuck sandwich of felt and thicker leather, thicker than that stuff we've just been using. That stuff I used as a little spacer, I think that's the word. It is fine for that. So, using a chisel, knife, or your teeth, or whatever you fancy, carefully and without taking a finger with it, try and separate them. What you don't want to do with this is stick it in hot water, because the fibreboard will be buggered. Yeah. So. Unless you're going to, well, if you're going to stamp out new fibreboard backings or get them from somewhere, then fine, just throw this in the bin. But well, I usually find I can do that. Okay, that is good enough. We'll clean it up. This. That's good enough. Okay, one fibre backing. Right. So with this, it's thin felt. I think this is actually 2mm. Have you got any 2mm?
No, you told me to buy 3.
Okay. I wasn't 100% sure, not having got a chest in front of me. But it will compress down a bit anyway. And you can always bend the spoon slightly so that it remains, flat. The thing to do with this is to make a little sandwich first of the felt and the leather. Oops, shouldn't have done that. There we go.
Did you do that with
and then stamp them out afterwards.
You meant that you don't know that with hot glue though, do you?
You can use hot glue. It tends to soak in rather a lot though. I tend to use Evo stick or half decent contact adhesive to do that. But where it's very strong. See, and it comes in a great big cow-sized sheet. I think this is a half cow, but it's got the thickness, particularly on the suede side, it's nice and fluffy, so it's good for bedding stuff down. So basically, as we have a little demo.
Oh, have we got some scissors?
No, I'll use a scalpel.
All right, use a scalpel. If you take Pete's ruler.
Okay, that's funny.
Yeah. I'll have my. Where's the big ruler gone?
I gave it to you back. You took it. You took it.
It's over there on that purple tray.
Good.
Just your scalpel for a minute, Pete. I've done this for you.
Alright, mate.
It's the only scalpel we've got.
We've got several here.
Yeah, there's loads here, but
no blade, no hand.
blades don't fit the handles apparently.
50 mil.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You've got 2 size handles then.
I bought the wrong size handle. I'll go get some more.
I saw one with a smaller bit on it than the other.
Leather and felt of the same size. Glue them together. Let that go off, and then stamp them out. Yeah, so you end up with a nice pair rather than. When my trusty assistant's doing that.
Hang on, I'll be back with it.
Okay. This is only for Dave of the Compton Factory on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. You look at that and see what they did.
And they used some of the young ladies for the more dexterous jobs because they had little fingers, all done up in their overalls and stuff. Yeah, it's really quite.
There was a thing.
I looked it up to see if there was anyone actually doing this, and I came across the video you're talking about.
Yeah, the Compton video, yeah. And there's the ladies all sitting there, and they were, you know how it is, you've got one woman, you've got a woman, you've got two women, you've got a conversation. And you can see that they've been told they're not allowed to talk to each other, and they're sitting there with their heads down. It's really quite hard on them. You know, it's interesting to watch the whole process.
There was a thing where women make cut and shape leather for making like water pump valves and blow lamp valves, and they used to chew it. They sit there chewing it to soften it to get it to shape it in a bit. And put it in. I don't think it did their house any good.
Yeah, a bit like match girls.
Oh,
Alright, let me see, I've got some...
Do you want Bernard's glue scrapers or?
It's not the best bit of chew. Well, I'll just do a little bit on the end here, just to give you the idea. I'll just do that much. So we want the suede side out and the smooth side glued.
This is opposite to the other one.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because you want the suede to make the bedding to do the air seal.
Yeah. We used to call it flesh side and hair side.
yeah.
Hair side is a smooth side where the hair's grown through,
Oh, right.
and the rough side is a flesh side.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to use a transistor, isn't it?
Right, I'm just doing this fairly hurriedly, obviously. And this felt is a little bit thick, as we've said. I'm slightly concerned it's maybe a little bit too thick. Anyway, okay. So there we have a sandwich jar. Now, in the absence of, I'll just take that off there now. In the absence of a punch, I'll just do this.
Are these plates all the same size, diameter?
There's two different sizes in there. And that one's two different. There's the bottom end have got bigger holes.
Ah, right. So you're going to want 3 lots of punches
Number of, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're basically aiming for, obviously, to stick that onto there. Now, I can use scissors, you never get a very good result. If you go around like this, you can usually sort of do a reasonably...
Thing is, if we can get you a punch, you can do panels like a foot by a foot or something, and then punch them all out together, which is much more efficient with wastage.
But, you know, again, it's.
I mean, I've got a set of punches. The thing I found with them is, again, they come from. I got them from Amazon, amazingly, and they work. But you have to put them down on a concrete floor.
In order to hit them halfway.
And on this, and you destroy one of these doing it, but to get it hard enough, boff, to get it to cut through, you have to, especially with the fine leather, I found that if you tried it on a piece of wood or something like that, it didn't, the wood just compressed. You have to try it on the end grain.
You need it on the end grain.
I tried that too, and I couldn't get it a clean cut. I found it was better just to put one of these on the concrete floor, get on my hands and knees, and just put it over the thing and go boof. And there was enough kickback in this stuff, and it's not blunted the punches. This has given way enough.
Okay, that's good enough. And I'll probably use the same glue. What you find that the felt is quite absorbent, so hot glue tends to just soak straight into it, and and often makes it go stiff. And the whole idea is that you're trying to keep a bit of suppleness and you know, so that it seals over the wood on there. So I'm using this stuff, which hopefully will keep it a little bit.
Do you think they give you the wrong felt?
It's a bit thick, that stuff. It may be classed as 3mm. I mean, I didn't have one of these in front of me when I said to Chris. I think this felt is more like 2, and I couldn't remember what size I tended to use.
Or we might just have to get some more thin.
It's just written on.
Oh, good.
Because it will mean the head will be up. It will change the height of the pallet.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a bit. They're a bit crude, these things, anyway. The Compton system is a little bit rough and ready. It has to be said. The spoons can always be bent slightly to, you know.
See, Wurlitz used a slightly different system.
They quite a different system.
Yeah.
They use double pneumatics on Wurlitz's. So with those, the magnet exhausted a small motor which operated a little pallet system which in itself exhausted a larger motor. So it was like amplified up. And the larger motor then allowed operated the main pallet that allowed the wind into the pipe. So with a Wurlitzer, you've got twice as many things to re-leather. Yeah, quite. And they're different types as well. The